All right, cool. Start bench drop. But this is a 10-year period, 2015 to 2025, just to show that KDB era. All right. Kevin De Bruyne, Ozil, Coutinho.
Oh, that is
Tough.
tough.
Very tough.
Oh,
Remember, Kevin,
yeah, I've got.
Coutinho was a guy. He
Yeah,
was a
that's
guy.
what I'm saying, and I think I'm gonna upset people here, but I don't care. This is my opinion, as we say every
Yep.
time. KDB start for me.
Yep. Yep.
Um, Coutinho bench. I just love Coutinho, man. He just had that more flair than Ozil. I know Ozil was a magician on the ball. He gave you guys good times, but you guys weren't really doing much
We
in
were
that
so
period of
rubbish
time.
then. We were so
So
rubbish.
so so
Wow,
that's probably
man.
why I've got Coutinho, because Coutinho went on to do his thing. He went on to Barcelona. You wanted to see the best out of him, which we didn't see at Barcelona.
Yeah.
But yeah, Coutinho was on top of his game, so I'd benched Coutinho, and then Ozil would yeah get
Oof.
rid of.
Start bench drop for me. You're right. There's only one right answer to start, and that's Kevin De Bruyne. Everything else is like you're wrong. Plain simple. Like the through balls that he done in the Premier League, were, like I was like, wow, oh, you saw that? That's insane. And not even that, you had the audacity to try it. It's actually wild as well. Um, Between Ozil and Coutinho, I think it's down to preference. Now, Coutinho, I think, was a better dribbler of the ball and progressor of the ball, but I think Ozil's passing ability was just. I think even KDB would struggle to compete with it, in my personal opinion. I think KDB just slightly edges it, but I'm going to bench Mesut Ozil, partly Arsenal bias, and then I'm going to drop Coutinho, who, again, Inter Milan, we've seen him. He was a young G balling, came to Liverpool, done his thing, and then from then it was a bit of a downhill slope, but he was a baller on his pomp. Start bench drop, Juan Mata, Cesc Fabregas, Christian Eriksen. But think of him Tottenham times though.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a bit biased though, but to be fair, for Fabregas, what he achieved in the game, I think it says it all.
Yeah,
Was great. It's been great at every club he went to.
every club.
Obviously Arsenal, where he started off. We saw his senior debut for Arsenal at what, 16? Was it? Was he
16, yeah.
16 at the
16.
time? And
16.
and he was
And
amazing
remember
then.
that team was stacked.
Yeah.
And he made it as a 16-year-old in that team, which lets you know
Mm.
how good he was.
Yeah, yeah. Chelsea obviously came to my team. Chelsea, won the league there. And then yeah, Barcelona, what he achieved at Barcelona, Spain. Oh yeah, for
He
me,
won
he's
everything.
brilliant. He won everything. Did he win? Yeah, he won the Champions League with Barca. Yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So yeah, he's starting for me. Then Mata, I just love Mata.
Yeah.
I thought that first season where he came to Chelsea, I was a bit skeptical. I was like, I like him at Valencia, but I was like, can he translate this to Chelsea? And that first season, he won the Champions League. Was our player of the season that year as well.
Wasn't he like your player of season like 4 years in a row, something
Yeah,
silly like that?
his first touch was unbelievable. I think one of the best first touches
Yeah.
in football. And then yeah, Ericsson. I loved Ericsson. Even for Ajax, I thought he was amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tottenham. He's just one of those. He was just really. He's a luxury player. He's one of those that you can see really good on the eye. But I wanted to see more. I wanted to see more goals from him.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of assists, a lot of free kicks that he scored. But
Yeah.
that's it.
Start bench drop. Juan Mata, Cesc Fabregas, Christian Eriksen. For me, yeah, you're right. Cesc Fabregas, partly Arsenal bias, but just because he done it all everywhere he balled out, it's pretty simple as that. Juan Mata, yeah, first touch was phenomenal at Chelsea as well. And the thing is, like, Same with Fabregas, not the fastest guy, not the strongest guy, but control a game, and it was absolutely insane. And sometimes he would play on the flank as well, and I'd be like, you shouldn't be playing on the flank," but he was playing on the flank and controlling the game as well, which is incredible. And then yeah, like you said, Christian Eriksen, I think he was a prisoner of staying at a Tottenham team for way too long. He should have stayed there maybe 3 seasons and then left. The Inter move a bit too late, and then obviously, by the grace of God, he's still here. Went to Brentford, rejuvenated his career, went to United, and then yeah, United is United. Start bench drop. This is a good one, Eve. I don't know which one to do. There's loads of good ones. Alexis Sanchez, Sadio Mane, Raheem Sterling.
Oh, I just think of a period of time now where
Yeah,
they were
that's why I
all
did
they
that
were
period.
all
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
They were all on it. Oh, that's tough, man.
It's
That
tough.
is really tough. I'm gonna say Sadio Mane's start for me.
Mm.
Just what he brought to Liverpool, even Southampton as well. In that sort of period, to be fair, a lot of people were saying it's a lot of money when he went to Liverpool, but he really just went on and kicked on from there. Went on and won the league, won the Champions League with Liverpool. So
He was
yeah,
their
I
best
think
player.
he's yeah. Honestly, I would say he was better than Salah at times as well for Liverpool. So yeah, definitely would start Sadio Mane. Um, this is tough. I'm gonna bench Sanchez. I'm gonna bench Sanchez.
Mm.
I know this to some people it's wild, but I think Sanchez was so pivotal to Arsenal at that sort of period of time.
Yep.
Um, would score unbelievable goals. He'd be up there on the scoring list in terms of like Golden Boot. He'll
Yep.
be around that sort of leaderboard. And yeah, the Manchester United move really did ruin him. Um, really thought he was going to stay at Arsenal for a long time, but yeah, it it didn't go so well at Manchester United. But yeah, he was unbelievable for a period of time at Arsenal, and he was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then Sterling, I love Sterling. I think for Man City, like I said about Foden, he was a bit of a system player. He followed that sort of system, and he scored a lot of goals. A lot of goals at City. Um, but yeah, I thought Chelsea would bring a bit more. So that's probably why I'd drop him. But
Yeah.
he hasn't brought his best to Chelsea or Arsenal
Yeah.
this season.
Start bench drop. Alexis Sanchez, Sadio Mane, Raheem Sterling. For me, um, I have to start Alexis Sanchez, man, because I just think what he was doing for Arsenal during that time, we were so poor. If you just go back and look at our teams, they were so poor, and we was finishing fourth because of him. Do you know what I mean? One season we even finished second to Leicester. Like obviously
Mm.
we had that little blip, but if not for that, we would have won the league. He was balling out, like yeah, like you said, like sometimes he'd have to play up top, and he's not the biggest of guys. He's only like 5'5". Do you know what I mean? And yeah, scoring phenomenal goals, free kicks. I remember he scored a great goal against Liverpool, which is like always near and dear to me. Um, Bench, and this is controversial. What I'm about to say, I'm gonna bench Raheem Sterling, man. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it
I don't think it's too. I don't think it's too controversial. To be fair.
because the reason I'm saying that because online they're gonna all right, you know what
Mm.
I mean, like, but people forget because they have like short-term memory loss, like what he was doing at Liverpool and at City he was. I'm pretty sure like there was one point where in the Champions League only like Ronaldo and Messi were scoring more goals than him. Like he was scoring great goals. Like he was the guy. He was their go-to guy. Like Pep really got the best out of him. Even Brendan Rodgers got really good football out of him. So it's a bit shameful now. It's a shame now that he's not. He's about what? He's about 30, 31. He's around the same age as me, and he's starting to tail off. But again, he's been playing a high intensity football for a long time. It's yeah, but and then drop Sadio Mane, but that's not because I don't rate him at all. Like we just said when you was doing it, us two both think that he's better. He was better than Mohamed Salah during that time. when those two at Liverpool. Better all round player anyway, I would say. Um, Start bench drop. Paul Pogba, Deli Ali, David Silva.
Ooh.
Tough.
I think I'll start David Silva. I think what he brought to Man City was really needed in that time where they were sort of building their project, and
Yep.
yeah, I think he was an integral part to that, and probably one of the best Premier League midfielders that we've seen do it.
Yep.
Loved him at Valencia, but yeah, at Man City he was different class. So that's probably why I would start him.
Hmm.
I'd bench Paul Pogba. I feel like we didn't get the best of him in the Premier League, and it was unfortunate that we didn't get that. But he showed glimpses of that in Man United team in this sort of Man United era where they've been sort of on the downfall since Fergie. But we've seen it at France. He can conduct a midfield. He can dictate it. And yeah, he gives you some unbelievable moments.
Yep.
So yeah, I would bench him. Then Deli Ali. I think we really only got one or two seasons of the best of Deli Ali. I know
They were
he's
good seasons,
spoken
though,
out
man. They were good
quite.
seasons.
Yeah, they were good seasons. They were good seasons, but yeah, obviously he's spoken out about his background and his sort of childhood, so that probably does play a part in his sort of mental health and playing football. So yeah, I don't blame him. But yeah, Dele Alli was a brilliant player at Spurs. Even at MK Dons was
Oh,
bossing it
he was
at it's
crazy at Dons.
such a young age. So yeah. Um, yeah, that was a difficult category, but yeah, they're my decisions.
Um, I'm gonna go the exact same with you, man. I'm going to start David Silva just because, like, yeah, what he was doing, like, you don't get the nickname the magician for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, small in stature, not the fastest, but again, close ball control, second to none. It was absolutely insane. Yeah, for a while there, him and Yaya Toure was a headache for most other centre midfielders. Um, my love for Paul Pogba, I've stated it many and many a time, so I'm gonna bench him again. Maybe went to the wrong club, hindsight is 2020, but yeah, like that Man United team was probably more of a commercial thing than footballing wise, because he could have went anywhere. Like when he was at Juve, he was absolutely balling out. But again, this is off Premier League. So yeah, I'm going to bench Paul Pogba and I'm going to drop Dele Alli. Like you said, he had a couple of seasons where he like, yeah, one of the best in the world. Um, but yeah, man, and then the downfall of that, maybe like you're saying, like his background catching up to him, maybe he lost a bit of the hunger, a bit of complacency, whatever. The move to Everton never, came to fruition as everyone expected it to be. Went to Besiktas, now he's at Como, whatever. But yeah, all the best for him, man. Okay, techie, not techie one. Start bench drop. Diego Costa, Lukaku, Olivier Giroud.
Oh, um, this is biased, but yeah, I'm gonna start Diego Costa. I just
All
loved
three are
everything
Chelsea men.
about him. Yeah, yeah, all three Chelsea men, and all of them I loved at certain points as a Chelsea fan. But yeah, Diego Costa, because he came in, did his job, got the goals that he needed, but it was very crucial. Was a shit house as well. Would give it back, give it to
Yeah.
people. Just a typical Chelsea striker, which we hadn't seen since Drogba left. So that sort of physicality, the speed as well, the finishes as well. Yeah, I love Diego Costa and was happy when he came to Chelsea. Um, this is a tough one though because Giroud is it's that guy that would get you a goal, would pop up in those
Yeah.
big moments. So I would bench Giroud. I think he's accomplished enough in his career Was very. I felt like Arsenal fans really harshly done him. Would get that label of donkey quite a lot by Arsenal fans, which I didn't feel that was necessary. But yeah, came to Chelsea, even scored against Arsenal in that Europa League final. So yeah, he'll stay in my heart for a long time because of that moment. And yeah, won the World Cup with France and was a big part of that.
Big
So
part.
yeah, I would bench him. And then Lukaku, it's unfortunate. He's times at Chelsea started good on that second time at Chelsea and was really raring to go. And then that interview came out, and the better we say not too much about that situation is the better. But yeah, yeah, he is a class striker, but yeah, just not for Chelsea.
Yeah. Um. Again, man, I totally agree with everything. Diego Costa, like you said, house, like just a defender's nightmare because he was quick, but he was just so strong as well. Hold up play was ridiculous, and he could strike a ball really, really well. Um, Played good for Spain as well in that World Cup. Yeah, man, really big fan of his. Even though I hated him when he played against Arsenal. Olivier Giroud. I think Olivier Giroud is a prisoner in terms of Arsenal, a prisoner of style of play and how he looks aesthetically. Now he had a good goal record, right? A few seasons he got 20 plus and that, but in the Prem anyway. But because he's not the most mobile, most athletic looking striker, where Arsenal fans, unfortunately for Arsenal striker, you're always gonna get compared to the king. Like he's mobile, he's silky, he's smooth, and
Yeah,
that's the type of like how they say like certain teams have styles of play. Like Arsenal style of plays, we need a silky, smooth striker. Hence why everyone's like crying out for Alexander Isak. But yeah, Olivier Giroud is going to be the bench for me, and Lukaku. I think I've been his biggest fan sometimes, especially on this pod, and at Everton, he was phenomenal. United, the start of his career is phenomenal. Inter Milan, when he first made the move, was phenomenal. And then it's just, again, the interview and then dips of form and the injuries and stuff like that. Shout out to him, though. He's now, I think, the highest goal scorer for Belgium. And I think he scored like 11 goals or whatever like for that in Napoli as well. So, yeah, shout out to him. Start bench drop. James Madison, Mason Mount, Dimitri Payet.
oh.
Tough
I
one,
think,
isn't it?
to be fair, I think Payet's a starter for me.
Yeah.
Just because what he done to that fan base, especially West Ham, is a real vocal fan base. So, yeah, I think he just cemented himself in Premier League history as well with some of
Yeah.
the free kicks as
It's
well that he
insane.
scored. So yeah, I think what he achieved in the few seasons that he was at West Ham is remarkable. So yeah, I would have to start him. Um, this is tough, but I think it's only fair to put Madison on the bench. I think we haven't seen the best of Mason Mount, but Madison's achieved a lot in his career as well. At Leicester, he won the FA Cup, and yeah, it was integral to that sort of success that they had for a small period of time. So yeah,
Hmm.
I would have Madison, even though I feel like he's tailing off a little bit now at Spurs, but I don't know whether that's the team or that's him. And then yeah, I'll drop Mason Mount, but I do think he has a level in him, which hopefully with these injuries that should be past him now.
Yeah.
I know he came back in that Man City game, but yeah, hopefully he can turn it on for Man United. Even though I hate saying that, but yeah, hopefully he can
Yeah.
come back and try and kick on his career.
For me, again, I'm gonna agree with you, my man. Dimitri Payet, that free kick. Some would say the best free kick in Premier League history. Some would say
Yeah.
that. Um, I was always surprised that none of the big boys came in for him. The fact that West Ham was able to get him was actually like mind-boggling.
Mm.
Some players have described him as having attitude problems. Maybe that's might be the reason why the big clubs are like, we're not going to take the risk or whatever. But yeah, would have really loved to seen him in the Premier League for more years than he was. But absolutely phenomenal player. I'm going to bench James Maddison as well. I was a fan of his from when he was at Norwich. From when he was at Norwich, I thought this guy, yeah, he's Premier League bound for sure. And then he made the move to Leicester, won the FA Cup with them, balled out. And then at Spurs, he's been part of some really good games for them, scored some important goals for them. But again, he's plays for Spurs, isn't it? You know what I mean? That says it all for you, buddy. Um, the last three: start, bench, drop. Aubameyang, Jamie Vardy, Ollie Watkins.
Oh,
Difficult, innit?
yeah, that is difficult. But I'm gonna start Jamie Vardy. I think he broke that record at Leicester where he scored on consecutive in consecutive games for, was it 11 games?
11 games, I think.
11
Silly.
games, yeah, which was crazy. And yeah, but it was a big part of that Leicester team that won the league. So yeah, he's starting for me. And then I am gonna have Aubameyang as a bench player. I think what he did at Arsenal, time and time again in the big games as well, won the FA Cup for you guys pretty
Yeah.
much.
Against Chelsea.
He done us in that game. Yeah, he done us in that game, even though the referee was dreadful that game. But yeah, Aubameyang was a big part of that FA Cup win. Even the semi final against Man City, he was brilliant. So yeah, I'll give him that bench spot. And then Ollie Watkins, we still haven't seen this season. He hasn't been on the heights that he was last season. But yeah, he's a good player, and I'm sure he's gonna show up for Villa. Hopefully next week in that tie against PSG, because I would love to see Arsenal and Villa. That would be a brilliant semi-final.
That'd be a great game. Yeah, it has to be Jamie Vardy's starter, isn't it? Like the CEO of Housery, honestly, the CEO of Housery. The fact that he's still doing it now, man, fair play to him, bro. Because people was calling him a one season wonder, whatever. That he scored phenomenal goals. I can't remember what the game it was where the volley. It was kind of like an RVP volley. When the ball came over and he's just first time, boom, like scored. Absolutely, yeah. It was a delight to see. We was in Leicester at the time, so we was there. We was in the atmosphere. That city was buzzing. It was absolutely buzzing. The parade was insane. Yeah, man. Honestly, the absolutely great footballer. The fact his journey as well was very inspiring. So I've got nothing but love for him. Going to bench Aubameyang, one of after number 14. I mean, he's after 14. Yeah, he was 14. He was 14, isn't it? Yeah. He's my second favorite 14 for Arsenal. The goals that he scored for us, the time that we had him in, obviously the chip. Who was the goalie for you lot at the time?
I can't remember. I think it was Kepa. You know, I wouldn't be surprised.
It might have been Kepa, yeah. But that chip in the FA Cup final was absolutely insane. I still remember they call it a Bamazet, because those two was absolutely balling out together. The semi-final in the Europa League in Valencia, where he just went off and scored. One of my yeah, man. He was definitely one of my favorite Arsenal players of all time. Loved him. And yeah, gonna drop Ollie Watkins, but a big fan of his. We've been a big fan of his on this pod for many a year since since the inception of this podcast. Injuries sometimes derail his seasons or whatever, but finally in a team that is balanced and got good players. We've given them their flowers last episode, so yeah, shout out to them. Start, bench, drop. This one's gonna throw you off a bit, Eve. All right. Thiago Alcantara, Santi Cazorla, and the name you haven't heard in years, Adam Lallana. Yeah. Because remember at Southampton, he was a guy.
Yeah.
He was a guy.
Yeah, Southampton, he was, yeah.
And Liverpool a bit as well. And Liverpool a bit as well.
He's gone back to Southampton.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
That's tough, man. That is tough.
That was a fun Southampton team, That was a fun team, Southampton.
Yeah. Southampton, they went from League One to the Prem. Yeah, like they had the real big
him,
rise.
Jay Rodriguez, Sadio Mane, Ryan Bertrand.
Ricky Lambert.
Yeah, Ricky Lambert. Who was the Italian striker as well? He was like the good looking
Oh,
one.
Pellegrini or
Yeah, yeah,
Pella.
something like
Pella
that.
was it Pella as well? They had
Someone
yeah,
like that.
Pella was good.
Victor
Yeah,
Wemban was it Wembanyama?
Wanyama, yeah,
Yeah, Wanyama,
Wanyama,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Nathaniel
yeah.
Klein.
They had a really good team. They had
Good
a really
team.
good team.
Good team.
Yeah. Who am I gonna start? I think I'm gonna start Thiago. Like ever since he stepped onto the scene at Barcelona, I just loved everything about him.
Yeah.
The way he controlled the game, the way he was flary. And yeah, just thought he was a real tactician or technician. Sorry.
Mhm.
Um, the same with Santi Cazorla as well, but I don't know. I'm gonna bench Santi Cazorla. We're
Mm.
gonna bench Santi Cazorla. Um, yeah, he lit it up for Arsenal fans. I think Arsenal fans really loved him. Was really so small, but he had
Yeah.
such quick feet. Yeah, and like I said about Thiago, they were very similar in ways, but yeah, he was a real technician as well. And then yeah, I'm gonna drop Lalana. Lalana came into a Liverpool team where they were on the sort of incline where they
Yeah.
were trying to do stuff. But yeah, injuries have hampered him a little bit at Liverpool. But yeah, at Southampton, he was incredible.
Him and Jay Rodriguez at Southampton were fun, man. Fun
Yeah,
team that was. That was a fun Southampton team. Okay. I will start removing bias. I'm gonna start Thiago Alcantara. That's the only right answer, man. Like yeah, like I said, another one similar to David Silva. Close ball control was ridiculous. He had this technique where he'd let the ball bounce, low volley, and he would just like glaze into the goal. He did it
mm.
numerous times with Liverpool and Bayern Munich. He never really got the opportunity at Barcelona, but you know what? Fair play for him for having the courage and leaving because a lot of guys do that and it doesn't tend to work. He went to Bayern Munich, balled out, went to Liverpool. Didn't really work out for him at Liverpool, partly the injuries and stuff, but won a Champions League. Did he win Champions League with Liverpool? He did win Champions League with Liverpool, innit? Or
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it
yeah. He
Bayern?
won the
Yeah.
Champions League.
Won a
Yeah,
Champions
he
League
won
with
the Champions League. Yeah.
Liverpool. Won a Premier League with Liverpool. Yeah, man. Just a great football player. Going to bench Santi Cazorla, left foot, right foot. What do you want? Do you know what I mean? Great player and Arsenal folk legend. And I'm going to drop Adam Lallana. Like we just said, he was in a fun Southampton team. He was a fun football player to watch. Silky smooth. Yeah, man. Liked his game. Last one, Eve. Start bench drop. Leroy Sane, Wilfred Zaha, Riyad Mahrez.
Ooh. I am gonna start Riyad Mahrez. I don't know whether you've been watching it. There's that there's an Amazon Prime series. Is it Married to the Game?
Is it good?
And
I
he
ain't watched it.
featured.
No.
Yeah, he features on it. They've got a few like big names on it, and he's one of them. But yeah, Mahrez, for what he did with Leicester, came from the championship with Leicester as well.
Yep.
And yeah, just you could see his growth as well from Championship to the Premier League.
Yep.
Really turned it on that season where they won it. Went on to Man City and kind of solidified his spot on that side, that flank as well. So yeah, Mahrez was such a joy to watch at times. You know he was going to cut in, but no one really had the answer to
No
it
one had
at
the
times
answer.
as well. Um, who am I going to bench here? Ooh.
It's tough, innit?
I love Sane. Sane's such a good like at Man City. I thought, oh, this guy's gonna be a world beater, but it's so unfortunate how he sort of ended. I'm gonna say Wilfred Zaha
Yeah.
bench. I just think for Palace, such a lower league team, and what he sort of did for Palace, I think I don't think I've ever spoke to a Palace player that is a really bad mouthed
Yeah.
Zaha. I think he really put that team on his back and that kept them in the Premier League for such a long period of
Yeah.
time as well. So yeah, I'll probably bench Zaha, and then yeah, Sane, probably because of the Probably the way he left City, because I thought he really could have took on, but and since he's left, I don't really feel like he's achieved too much in terms of his growth in the game. I know his teams have done well,
Yeah.
but yeah, he hasn't done too much.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to start Riyad Mahrez, arguably the best first touch in Premier League history. It's insane. Like you said, chop, 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 chop. You know he's gonna cut in on the left. Well, I can't remember what game it was where he chopped, 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 chopped again, and still got the shot off and still scored. And was it? It might have been at Leicester. Yeah, it was at Leicester where someone through balled it, and he's let it bounce ever so slightly. First time passed it to Vardy, and Vardy's banged it. That too was again another fun team, man. Another fun team. And they got him from, was it? I think they bought him from like a League Two French team for like
Yeah,
two
yeah,
hundred
they did.
thousand, something silly like that. Um, did they buy him when he was in League One or in the Champo? It might have been Champo
Yeah,
when
in
they
the
bought him.
chat, yeah, in the championship, yeah.
But yeah, absolutely fun football player, man. And again, another guy that wasn't the fastest, but just dictated the space on the flank, that right side of City. The fact that you went from Leicester to City, big money, and he wasn't a bit part player. He was a guy on that team as well,
Mm.
which is something which he can be very proud of. I'm going to bench someone who for many a year was my favorite player, Wilfred Zaha, because like you said, for so long he kept them up in the league. Signed that bumper contract, which was kind of his demise because they priced him out of the move that he should have got
Yeah.
maybe 3 or 4 seasons before. He should have went to the Arsenal. He could have went to Spurs. He could have even went to Chelsea, Eve, to be honest with you, man.
Mm.
And I think he would have flourished in all teams, especially on his pomp. Like, yeah, such a trickster, such a great footballer player. Um, even what's his name? Nico Williams came out recently and said, I modeled my game after Wilfred Zaha. I even did my hair like Wilfred Zaha. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of
Mm.
those ones where the streets will never forget. Even though he's had some kick pushback to the streets will never forget phrase. I don't know why he doesn't like it. It's I think it's a term of endearment. But anyway, and then yeah, gonna drop Leroy Sané, but he had a great career. Anything else, Eve? I think we covered everything, bro.
No, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, that was start bench drop. We ain't done start bench drop in a while. The views are gonna go
I
up
know.
because these provoke emotion and people, you don't know ball, you don't know. All right, mate, relax. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's been our league podcast. We're out. Peace, man.
You are now listening to Our League podcast, made in London, distributed all over the world.